The title I'll be reading is Rent a Husband. Gayatri kept refreshing the damned Rent a Husband app, but the page refused to come alive on her smartphone screen. Where's a husband when you need one? She thought to herself, grabbing her purse and rushing out of her apartment for work. Her most annoying relative, Meena Bua, was about to visit from the States. Ever since Gayatri's parents had passed away, Meena Bua's sole dream was to see Gayatri happily married, and she felt it was her responsibility to make this happen. Gayatri made her way to her apartment on the 6th floor, a spring in her step. Earlier that week, she had called in sick at work, something she hadn't done in 3 years, and then spontaneously taken off for a 5-day trip to Kasauli. Yes, it hadn't been the pyramids, but it was probably better, she thought, grateful to get away from the dreary June weather of Delhi, if only for a few days. Bachche, I had promised your father that if anything happened to him, I would see to it that you are settled. She loved to remind Gayatri on their long-distance phone calls, although Gayatri doubted this conversation had ever taken place between her father and her aunt. The title, Love in the Time of WhatsApp. I casually shifted in my seat a little to settle in a position comfortable enough to gaze at his screen. He wrote, Your smile lights up my day. Friend, a smiling emoji. He, what are you up to right now? Other than missing me, of course. Friend, drinking coffee. Want some? It is you I want. Friend, a blushing emoji. He, a kissing emoji. I found myself worrying about the conclusions to this love story. Was Simi pretty? Had she given herself up to him? Heart, soul, and... Surely they hadn't stopped at just a kiss. How would I ever know whether Loverboy grew old with Simi or settled down with this one? How I yearned to learn how this ménage à trois would play out. Reading the title, Hatsuyuki. The first snow of the season was falling outside the night the baby was born. The mother never saw the morning. The child, a beautiful cherub with the most remarkable eyes you'll ever see, was raised by her grandfather, who operated the old lighthouse up on the peninsula. He named her Hatsuyuki, first snow. The scar on her chest, he noticed, was no longer an old one. It was turning a lovelier, brighter shade of red as he watched, a red that suited her skin tone so much better until it was no longer a scar, but a gash as open and gaping as the moment she received it. The eyes were the first thing he saw when he turned around, and they were gazing steadily at him from across the room. Somehow, even at that distance, Samir knew they were a shade of blue with grey mixed in. Or perhaps the other way around. A color he had never seen before. They belonged to a girl who had stuck her head in through the open door. A girl who, with a pale oval face framed by bleached blonde hair, was effortlessly beautiful.